Hi there, it's Thursday, so it's Thursday Thoughts. And I just feel led to talk a little bit more about grace with you and just to remind you of the grace that we experience in God. Uh, you know, um, Philip Yancey, who wrote an amazing book called What's So Amazing About Grace, uh, coined the phrase that said, grace means there is nothing I can do to make God love me more, and nothing I can do to make God love me less. It means that even I who deserve the opposite, am invited to take my place at the table of God's family. And if you think of it in terms of the story of the prodigal son, it's that reality, that grace is an amazing thing that is so personal. In fact, Philip Yancey, again in that book, quotes Henry Nouwen, and he says, Henry Nouwen points out that God rejoices not because the problems of the world have been solved, not because all human pain and suffering has come to an end, nor because thousands of people have been converted and are now praising him for his goodness. No, God rejoices because one of his children who was lost has been found. Isn't that amazing? That we value success because by numbers, etc. But God values the individual. God's grace is for you as an individual. God's grace is for you as a person. You're not seen as just a speck. He values you, and he values me. Just think of it like this. Grace is so personal, but also grace is so radical that when Paul arrived in heaven after being martyred, those who he martyred would have rejoiced at his arrival. Radical thought? But that's the grace that you receive. God rejoices because you have come to him. And that truth needs to actually work out in the way we see ourselves, but also the way we see others. You see, legalism, by trying to prove ourselves as acceptable, miss the whole point of the gospel, that it is a gift from God to people who don't deserve it. The solution to sin is not to impose even stricter things, a code of behavior. The solution to our sin, to our brokenness and our hurting, is to know God's grace. And that needs to change the way we see ourselves. You are worth enough that God celebrates that you come to him. And he's made it possible. He's done it. But it also changes the way we see others. Again, Philip Yancey says, Jesus declared that we should have one distinguishing mark, not political correctness or moral superiority, but love. Love the Lord your God and love your neighbor, he said. And this is how the world will know that I've sent you, because of our love. You see, grace is not only a kind of a gift that it means that we saved, hooray, and that's the end of it. Grace is life transforming. Grace transforms everything in the way we see ourselves and the way we see others. Grace transforms in the way we live in this broken, hurting, and divided world. Because grace should force us to a place of love. For those of us that have received much, we will love much. And so I want to say, receive that grace. God has given it to you. Let Him be very present in you. Amen.